Welcome, curious minds, to another deep dive. Today, we're plunging headfirst into a digital rabbit hole that, well, has captivated many of you and definitely piqued our interest too. We're talking about the incredibly mysterious world of the R5September2020 subreddit.
Oh yeah, this one's a classic internet mystery.
It really is. We've pulled together some truly fascinating source material for this deep dive, including detailed transcripts from a video that meticulously chronicled the subreddit's strange and, frankly, often unsettling journey. Our mission today: to pull back the curtain on this online phenomenon, try to piece together its bizarre, evolving mythology, and ultimately, try to understand what exactly was driving this entire community, all fixated on one very specific date. Get ready for some genuinely surprising facts and a whole lot of wait, what moments as we attempt to make sense of what might just be one of the internet's most intriguing collective mysteries. It's a story that really highlights how online narratives can just take on a life of their own.
It truly does. What we're looking at today isn't just like a collection of odd posts. It's a really compelling case study in how online communities form around these shared mysteries, how narratives unfold in real time, and, well, how readily people can become immersed in an unfolding, often unsettling story. We'll explore not just the what happened, but the deeper why it resonates in the digital sphere.
Okay, let's unpack this strange tale then. Our journey into the heart of this mystery begins on November 4th, 2019. That's the day the R5September2020 subreddit was, kind of quietly, created. Its description was stark, simple, and immediately chilling. A community devoted to surviving 5th September 2020.
Right, surviving. Big word.
Exactly. Think about that for a moment. Right out of the gate, it presented itself with this air of urgency and, impending doom. What do they mean surviving? Surviving what?
It's a powerful hook, isn't it?
Totally. And almost immediately it started gaining traction. At the time our primary source documented it, the subreddit had already gathered nearly 900 followers.
Wow, nearly 900, just like that.
Yeah. You can't help but wonder, what catastrophe, what profound event were they alluding to that was supposed to occur on that very specific day? What kind of shared fear or curiosity could draw people in so quickly?
What's truly fascinating here, I think, is how a seemingly arbitrary date can almost instantly become this focal point, a digital anchor for a brand new community. It wasn't some widely recognized prophecy or historical event. It was a blank slate infused with impending significance by this simple, ominous description. This phenomenon really demonstrates how quickly an air of mystery, when coupled with a sense of urgency, can foster immediate devotion and collective engagement online. It just taps into our innate human curiosity about the unknown, especially when it hints at danger.
Right, and at the very heart of this burgeoning mystery, the assumed leader, or at least the most prominent voice, was a Reddit user known as September 5 Survivor. Their account was actually created slightly before the subreddit itself, in October 2019, almost like they were laying the groundwork.
Interesting timing.
Yeah. This user quickly became this, obsessive evangelist, posting relentless warnings about September 5th, often wishing other communities safety from this unspecified threat, and weaving together several recurring, incredibly cryptic themes. We're not talking about simple, straightforward conspiracy theories here. Their posts were, an experience.
An experience, yeah. How so?
Well, we're talking about rambling references to the number 24, a mysterious man covered in blue flames, and this shadowy secret organization that was apparently behind whatever was coming.
Okay, blue flames, secret groups, the number 24. Got it.
These elements weren't just mentioned, they were repeated with an almost hypnotic frequency, forming the core iconography of this emerging narrative.
This is where we see the power of a single individual acting as a narrative engine, right? In the absence of established facts, a seemingly isolated user can become the primary storyteller, providing the foundational elements for an entire online mythology. Their consistency, even in the ambiguity, creates a coherent, if fantastical, framework that others can then adopt and expand upon. It's a demonstration of how quickly a belief system can coalesce around a charismatic, even if cryptic, central figure online.
Definitely. And digging into September 5 Survivor's earliest posts is like sifting through a digital goldmine of clues. The narrative starts to unfold in a way that feels almost like a dream journal.
A dream journal?
Yeah. In one of their first significant posts, they describe this vivid dream of their own fictional wedding, which, perhaps unsurprisingly, takes place on September 5th. But this dream isn't just a personal anecdote, it's presented as a key piece of the puzzle. It also features that mysterious man in blue flames.
Ah, him again.
Yep, and a young ring bearer dressed in orange, and an elderly spectator draped in purple. Very specific colors.
Orange and purple. Okay.
Then adding another layer to the enigma comes a poem. This wasn't some casual verse, it was a cryptic warning, again mentioning the man in blue flames and stressing the urgent need to find a safe place before September.
A safe place. Vague.
Very vague. When a confused user dared to ask for clarification, the original poster's reply was a classic non-answer, always reiterating the vague need to stay safe from ambiguous bad things. It's designed to deepen the mystery, not resolve it.
Right. That approach, using dreamlike imagery and poetic, ambiguous language, is incredibly common in what we might call unconfirmed storytelling, or unfiction.
Unfiction, right.
Yeah. It lets creators build a mysterious atmosphere without being pinned down by concrete details. It invites interpretation and speculation rather than direct understanding, that fosters engagement.
Keeps people guessing.
Exactly. It's a clever way to keep the audience guessing and invested without having to deliver on specific, potentially disprovable prophecies. This ambiguity also makes it feel more authentic, almost like a genuine personal account of something inexplicable.
And here's where the narrative took an unexpected turn, the kind that makes you lean forward a bit.
Okay.
References to a hallway started appearing, often accompanied by equally cryptic pictures. Then that number 24, which had been kind of lurking in the background.
The number 24, yeah.
It began to pop up with increasing, almost alarming frequency. It was becoming a motif, but its significance was still shrouded in mystery. But the biggest twist arrives when the user eventually posts that they were contacted by someone from this elusive secret organization.
Contact.
Yep. And according to this new, seemingly insider information, September 5th, 2020 was actually a mistake.
A mistake? After all that?
Apparently. The true date, the one that really mattered, was September 5th, 2024, and suddenly the significance of the number 24 clicked into place.
2024, there it is.
It wasn't just a random number, it was the year.
Wow. That narrative pivot, attributed to an inside source or revelation, is such a classic device in long-form speculative storytelling, especially when an initial prediction gets close to its expiration date.
Buys them more time.
Totally. It's a highly effective way to adapt and extend the story, maintaining engagement even when the original premise might be nearing disconfirmation. It also introduces that layer of supposed insider information that, for believers, further legitimizes the claims.
Yeah.
And reinforces the idea that there's a deeper hidden truth at play. It buys the narrative for more years.
Right. After this bombshell revelation, the posts unfortunately became quite redundant for a period, just constantly reiterating the need for safe places, the enigmatic hallways, recurring dreams, and of course September 5th, both 2020 and 2024.
Yeah, it must have gotten a bit repetitive.
To the point of exhaustion for some, I imagine. But just when you might think the story was stagnating, a new critical dream emerges.
Another dream.
Another dream. In this one, the September 5 survivor is trapped in a green hallway, unable to find a safe place.
Green hallway now.
Green hallway.
Yeah.
And the man in purple from the wedding dream is there, admonishing them, telling them they haven't warned enough people about September 5th, 2020.
Yeah, back to 2020. Interesting.
Yeah. This dream is presented as a stark, chilling warning against carelessness. A direct message from, well, whatever this is.
Okay, so keeping the original date relevant too, even after the shift. Complex.
Very. So, with all these cryptic clues, the date shifts, shadowy organizations, what did it all actually mean for the originally fated September 5th, 2020? Initially, you might have assumed it was slated to be another grand doomsday event, like the Y2K scare or the, 2012 Mayan calendar prophecy.
That's the natural assumption, yeah.
But our sources reveal a fascinating twist. Buried deep within the user's ramblings, almost as an afterthought, is a post clarifying that September 5th wouldn't be a single cataclysmic event.
Oh, so not one big boom.
No. Instead, it would manifest as clusters of events. And critically, people would still need to prepare, not just to survive, but actively to prevent these things from happening.
Clusters. That's clever. That concept of clusters, rather than a singular apocalypse, is a brilliant narrative innovation, actually. Well, it's far more resilient to disconfirmation.
Yeah.
A single predicted event can easily fail to materialize, and poof, the story ends. But clusters, that's nebulous.
Right, harder to pin down.
Exactly. They can be interpreted broadly, making them harder to disprove. It shifts the focus from a specific doomsday to ongoing, perhaps more subtle, dangers and responsibilities. It empowers the community with a sense of agency, however illusory.
Makes sense.
It means the threat is always present, always requiring vigilance. Keeps the story going indefinitely, potentially.
So if it's not a single event, what exactly are these bad things that September 5th supposedly brings? The user offers theories directly from their perspective. One bizarre detail they share is a supposed connection. September 5th is allegedly 24 hours long, precisely, as opposed to the actual 23 hours and 56 seconds of a true Earth rotation.
Wait, what? The length of the day itself?
Yeah. A small, almost imperceptible shift that could have massive implications, according to them.
That's specific and weird.
Very. And the actual events themselves. The user admits uncertainty, but suggests a truly wild range of possibilities. These include luck diminishing across the globe, leading to mass tragedy, Earth's positioning shifting in space, global electrical systems failing.
Okay, standard disaster stuff, mostly.
Mostly, but then there's this. And most intriguingly, the sixth realm opening up.
The sixth realm? What on earth is that?
It sounds like pure fantasy, right? But within this narrative, it all starts to connect.
Okay, I'm listening. How does the sixth realm fit in? This is where the internal logic of the mythology really solidifies, it seems. The sixth realm is explained as the user's dream realm or sleeping state.
Ah, okay, the dream connection again.
Exactly. It's a dimension accessible through dreams. The secret organization behind 5/9, that's their shorthand for September 5th, supposedly has access or even control over this plane.
Okay.
And that frequently mentioned green hallway. That's revealed to be the entrance to this dream world. This creates a cohesive, albeit highly fantastical, internal logic that ties together all the disparate elements. The dreams, the characters, the dates, the colors, the hallway, the lurking threat.
It gives the whole narrative a consistent, even if bizarre framework.
Precisely. Bizarre, but internally consistent, which is key for this kind of storytelling.
Right. Now, while it's easy to focus on September 5 survivor as the central figure, they were by no means alone in this strange journey. Remember, nearly 900 followers were part of this community.
That's right, the community aspect.
And the surprising thing is that for the most part, the comments and interactions were completely in line with the survivors' philosophies. There wasn't much dissent, at least not visibly.
So people were buying into it.
Seemingly, yeah. Take this example from a pinned post. Another user, clearly a follower, claims to have been contacted by someone else from inside the organization.
Oh, more insiders.
Apparently. They reiterate that the Man in Blue Flames is indeed a member of this secret group, confirm the new true year is 2024, and even added a new prophecy that in May 2021, the world would somehow become aware of 5/9.
Okay, another date dropped in.
And get this, they even, almost self-awarely, added a disclaimer that their own information might not be credible.
Okay. This might be nonsense, but here it is anyway.
Pretty much.
What's truly fascinating here is that collective buy-in. Despite the increasingly fantastical claims, the shifting dates, and even the occasional disclaimers about credibility, the community, for the most part, questioned nothing.
They just rolled with it.
Actively played along, discussing the organization and its motives as if it were absolute undeniable truth. This wasn't just one person's rambling reaching an echo chamber. It became a shared, evolving narrative, collaboratively constructed and reinforced by its participants. It highlights that potent desire for belonging and shared experience within online communities, even if it means suspending disbelief on a grand scale.
They were, in essence, co-creating this reality. So, when we zoom out, what exactly was going on with this user and this entire community? On the surface, September 5 survivor might sound like your garden variety, run-of-the-mill conspiracy theorist, but our sources suggest otherwise. They note that the user's style is too pointed and concise, and their ideas, while undoubtedly out there, are presented with a surprising degree of cohesion and narrative consistency.
Right, it wasn't just random noise.
No, this isn't just random fragmented thought, it feels structured. So, if not a lone conspiracy theorist, what are the most likely explanations for this whole strange phenomenon?
Well, from our analysis of the source material, there's little doubt that our 5/September2020 is a work of collective fiction.
Right. Seems pretty clear it's fiction.
Yeah. The true intentions behind it, however, are far less clear, and that's where the intrigue really deepens.
It doesn't quite fit the mold of a classic alternate reality game, an ARG. While it shares some elements, it critically lacks that, game element.
No puzzles to solve.
Exactly. There's nothing to solve, no puzzles to piece together, no clear progression that moves a plot forward based on participant actions. There's no win state, no clear objectives.
Instead, it appears to be either a prime example of unfiction-style storytelling, similar to other online phenomena like The Sun Vanished, where a narrative unfolds over time without explicit game mechanics, simply as a story to be observed, or it's simply a very elaborate, ongoing role-playing community. The lines between these are often blurred online, but the key is that it's a performed collaborative reality.
A performance.
Yeah.
And here's where the speculation gets truly compelling. A strong alternative theory is that this entire thing, this intricate narrative, is actually a sophisticated promotion for some kind of real-world project.
Ah, the marketing angle.
Yeah. When something this cryptic centers around a specific, seemingly important date, people naturally assume something tangible will be released or revealed on that day. It's a classic marketing tactic to build anticipation, right?
Absolutely. And it's also entirely feasible, though perhaps less satisfying as an explanation, that the entire thing is simply a very elaborate, sustained joke or maybe performance art piece.
Just for the fun of it.
Could be. There are also other, less likely theories that have been floated, ranging from the involvement of artificial intelligence to, alien communication.
Wow, okay.
Which just goes to show how open-ended and adaptable the storyline is. This inherent ambiguity leaves a vast amount of room for its creator or creators to play with, to pivot, and to keep the audience guessing.
Our sources suggest there were likely multiple creators behind this, which makes sense given the consistency and development.
Seems plausible.
What this community will ultimately become as it continues to evolve and potentially incorporate new elements is truly anyone's guess. It could morph into something people can really sink their teeth into, becoming a long-running collaborative narrative.
Yeah.
Or, as with many online phenomena, it could simply devolve into a niche meme fading into the vast archives of internet oddities. There's really no way to know for sure.
And perhaps that's part of its enduring mystery.
I think so. We hope this deep dive has given you a clearer picture of the fascinating, peculiar, and frankly, quite unsettling world of the r5September2020 subreddit. It's a real testament to the incredible power of online communities to create compelling shared narratives, even when those narratives are entirely fictional, or maybe precisely because they are.
It truly makes you think about the power of collaborative storytelling in the digital age, doesn't it? And how easily a group can coalesce around a shared, unfolding mystery, suspending their disbelief. It also highlights the importance of critical thinking when encountering strange new phenomena online, trying to discern what's real, what's fictional, and what's maybe somewhere in between.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that sometimes the most profound stories aren't in books or movies, but are actively being lived out or perhaps created in the hidden corners of the internet.
So after hearing this wild ride, what stands out most to you? What are your thoughts on online collective fiction and how it impacts our perception of reality? Something to chew on.
Definitely food for thought.
Thank you for joining us for another deep dive into the fascinating corners of information. Until next time, keep exploring and stay curious.